Hi, welcome to my channel. I'm not Southern. My name is Maddie, and if you like self-care stuff, creative stuff, arts and crafts, cozy stuff, anxious girly stuff, then I have something in my tooth. Then I am the girly for you. And today I want to be talking about a recent little thing that I did. I did a thing. A little solo trip that I went on. This was my first ever like official overnight solo trip. I did not go very far. I just went like 45 minutes from my house, but it still is a thing that I did. I planned it out on myself, and I really just wanted to get away and kind of like practice being with myself, being on my own, exploring things on my own, because I felt like I had kind of lost touch with that part of myself a little bit. Yeah, if you want to hear about how it went and how I kind of planned it all out and did it, then keep watching. So the first thing that I want to talk about is kind of how I planned out the trip. This is actually the week of my April vacation. I am a teacher, yeah. So I was definitely stressed, and I just needed some time to myself. I feel like I've been, you know, working in therapy and working on my anxiety. I like to call myself a recovering anxious girly. And I felt like I really just needed to kind of channel this confidence that I've been trying to build in myself. So I decided that I didn't want to go too far, but I knew that I wanted to stay in like a cute hotel, like a nice little hotel. I knew that I wanted to like spend some time outside. And then I also knew that I wanted to hit up a couple of like thrift stores or like antique stores. So if you're planning on doing something like this, like just plan it around things that you know you like to do. Like maybe you love to visit bookstores or libraries, or maybe you love to go to like state parks, or maybe you like want to visit some like local bars or breweries or something, as long as you're of age. You know, plan your trip around that, just like things that you solely like to do. And it can be things that you know other people in your life wouldn't really vibe with or be down with, and this is just a time to like enjoy being you, your own company and activities. So yeah, I decided to stay in Providence, Rhode Island, which is like hop, skip, and a jump away from me. Not very far at all, but I had kind of moved to the area recently. I really wanted to explore the city and kind of things around the city, and I figured this would be a really good opportunity to do that. So I booked a hotel, a telly for one night, a ticket for a spot for the botanical gardens in Roger Williams Zoo. There's like botanical gardens there. And then I also booked a facial because I knew I wanted like kind of like a spa, like relaxing kind of pampering thing too. So I booked my very first facial, and I'll tell you how that goes. It got a little bit awkward at one point, but we'll get into that later. I think this is like a really good tip. I had looked at like parking situations beforehand. I probably should have looked more into the botanical gardens parking because that was kind of a mess. But that is something that makes me feel really like secure, as like, okay, knowing that I have like a spot to put my car, because sometimes like, especially in a city, like shit just gets crazy. Like you just can't park in certain areas or lots fill up or whatever. So I made sure to plan that out. I just kind of like planned the days around those like main activities, and then just kind of like filled in places where I wanted to eat just based on the area that I was going to be in, and just kind of went pretty loose with it. I was just kind of like going with the flow. So that is how I like to operate. If you're somebody who really wants to like plan every single kind of like hour to a T, and that like helps you kind of like feel less stressed about things, then I would recommend doing it however you're comfortable. Like if you're just someone who wants to just like get dropped in a spot and have no idea like what's around, then by all means. Now I'll kind of talk about how the activities went, and we'll get into it. The day that I left my apartment around 12, and I decided that I wanted to make a couple stops before checking into the hotel. First place I went was a Savers, and I love thrifting, and I love looking at thrifting in like different areas to kind of see like what kind of stuff are these people giving up, you know? Every thrifting place is different, even if it's like a chain, like you can always find different stuff. So I went, I did find a book. I wanted just like a short book to read during my trip. Found a little book by Maya Angelou called Home, which I really didn't think that I would like be into that type of book, but I really got into it. It was really nice. I love looking through like all the like little tchotchkes and stuff. I found this like really cute little like 90s mug with like an oceanscape on it. It was really cute, so I bought that. And I also bought a few dresses for like spring and summer, because I've been looking for some more kind of like warm weather dresses, and I found a bunch that I really liked. They didn't have a fitting room in there, unfortunately, so I kind of had to just like go with my gut. I like went in the mirror, I just like held it in front of me with the hanger and was like, I feel like this will work, and it ended up working out really well. Have had a really good time at the thrift, found some really good stuff. No shoes, really. The shoes were kind of crappy, but it's okay. I never find shoes in my cave women size, foot size anyway. So yeah, I went to Savers, and then the next stop, I really wanted to have something to eat because I was getting hungry, I was getting peckish. So I decided to go to a sandwich shop that had like really good reviews. It wasn't like a stop that I had planned out, but I just like was like, oh, I'm hungry, what's around here? Found the sandwich shop and went. And I always like, I feel like I get really awkward about wanting to eat by myself and like sit and like just like like having my little like mouse meal. But it was fine. I just kind of like sat and like drank my little soda while I waited for my sandwich. I got my sandwich. It was really good. I'll put a picture up. It had pesto, like prosciutto. I ate my little sandwich, and then I decided that I wanted to, before I checked into my hotel, that I wanted to make one more stop, and this was a planned stop at the Rhode Island Antiques Mall. And boy, I was like, mall is kind of a big word. Like, what are they talking about here? This place was huge. It was 2 floors. Some of it like genuinely looked like a museum exhibit. There were artifacts, like there was some old ass shit in here. It was wild. There was just stuff everywhere. There was racist stuff like you always see at antique stores. There was clothes, a bunch of clothes, some that looked like they were from the 1800s, some that looked like they were picked up from Shein 2 weeks ago. So yeah, there was stuff everywhere, and I felt like I could have been in there for hours and not seen half of it. And I wanted to be in there forever, but I didn't end up buying anything. I did see this one mug that was like kind of following the same theme as like the mug I got from Savers, but it was like Dunkin' Donuts brand. This trip has like a weird theme. You'll see what I mean. It was Dunkin' Donuts brand, and it had like an underwater like seascape on it, but it was definitely like from the 90s or something. It was like a plastic to go like travel cup or whatever, and it was so cute, and I wanted it, and I wanted to get it from my partner. He really loves Dunkin', but it was $9, and it just felt kind of ridiculous. Like, are we really gonna use that? Probably not. We have so many travel mugs. So I decided to not go with that, but I just did think it was really cute. And I started to get a little hungry again. Or I knew that I was like gonna get hungry soon. That's my cat. What is he doing? I feel like I have to show him. So we just built this like I have ADHD. We just built this huge tower for my cat. This is like 8 foot tall. Hi. That's Mushu. He's so cute. I love him. Anyway, he loves that. That's his new favorite spot. So anyway, I ended up leaving the antique mall empty-handed, but I definitely want to go back. And I decided to check into my hotel. And my hotel, when I tell you, this was the weirdest hotel. It wasn't like a big building with like 100 rooms. It was like 2 or 3 different suites in this like one floor building, and also like a small kind of like event room. Also, there was no one in the front desk. There was no one in the hotel at all. I had to use like a code to get in. So that was interesting. It was really nice. It was really cute. It smelled amazing. So yeah, I got in and the room was really, really nice. It was like super tall ceilings and like exposed beams. There was a beautiful mural on the wall. It was like really modern looking, and the bed was nice and big, and there were some robes for me in the bathroom. It was really nice, nice little getaway. And I just kind of like sprawled out on the bed at one point and was just like, what do I do right now? So I just kind of like laid there and like read for a little bit and just like relaxed, decompressed. I said, well, before I order dinner, I definitely need to go get my snacks, because I had this whole plan to have a freaking smorgasbord of snacks and a bunch of different like weird little comfort foods or like guilty pleasure snacks that I just really wanted to eat that night while I had my little like movie night. I went to the little grocery store that was nearby and I got a bunch of random shit. We are back. We are back from the Price Right, which was kind of scary, to be honest. I don't know, it just seemed like almost like a fake grocery store. But we are back with a menagerie, a smorgasbord, if you will, of just absolute trash garbage to eat tonight and today. We have Talenti gelato, southern butter pecan. I saw these adorable little juniors cheesecakes. No flavor or anything. This shit don't even have crust, which is like a juniors thing, I guess. Did already open these. Oh my god. They have like serving suggestions on the back. That's cute. No one's gonna do that. Sunbelt fudge dipped chocolate chip. I did have one already because I was hungry, and these are good. Like, you can't tell me anything. These are good. Do I need 10? No, but they didn't sell them in smaller packs. Okay, next is, okay, I just saw Emmy Made try these. I think these were the same brand, but they're flavored with Louisiana hot sauce. So they're pork rinds. Is that gross? I don't know. I like pork rinds. And they look good, so we's trying them. And then infamous blue heat coffees. I've actually never tried these. They look horrendous, and like they're gonna give me cancer, but we're gonna go ahead and see what they taste like. And then, to go along with the blue theme, a blue Powerade. I love blue Powerade, I can't even lie. I normally don't like, if I had to choose, I like the Gatorade flavors better, but blue Powerade smacks. Water. And then, some Redenbacher popcorn. Because I'm gonna have a little movie night tonight. And then I figured I should probably eat dinner before I eat all of my weird ass snacks. So there was a restaurant right next to the hotel, a barbecue restaurant, and I got there was like a combo with ribs and cornbread and some mac and cheese. So I got that, and I was like, well, I really like ribs, so let me get like double ribs, because you get like 2 meat choices. And I'm over here thinking that the ribs are gonna be like regular size, like Chili's ribs or whatever. Chili's, Applebee's, I don't know what the fuck. Regular size ribs. No, they were like the size of my forearm. I got this like giant metal tin of ribs, like a takeout metal aluminum tin of takeout ribs. Huge. I could eat maybe 2 or 3 of them, and then a pint of mac and cheese and cornbread, and I was like, oh my god, I have to leave room for my snacks. What the heck's going on? had my dinner and I put on a movie. I found this random movie with Kristen Stewart. It was called Equals. It was on Prime Video. And it was like a dystopian kind of thing. It kind of gave The Giver. It gave The Giver. And it was cute. It was like a romance. It was like nobody had emotions, but then that some people's DNA started like allowing them to feel emotions again, and then like two people realized that they both could feel, and then they kind of fell in love, and it was like this whole thing. Cute. So I watched that, ate my snacks, tried blue Takis for the first time. They were confusing. They had me in like the weirdest chokehold because I was like, these aren't that good, but they are. They were just like very eatable. Like I kept eating them. My mouth turned blue. That was interesting. And also had these pork rinds. Don't judge me on that, because Emmy Made, one of my favorite YouTubers, tried these pork rinds that had like Louisiana hot sauce flavor. They were so good, and they were like, ooh, they were like the perfect level of heat. Oh my god, I love them. I guess I'm just like a pork rind girly now. Pork rind girly. I had some like Talenti ice cream. I had some like a tiny little cheesecake. Like, oh my god, it was wild. And then I definitely had a tummy ache as well, but you know, that's, you live and you learn, I guess. Watched a little bit of YouTube, some Bob's Burgers, went to sleep. And then that was kind of like day one of the trip, I guess. Day two was kind of like the more exciting, eventful day. I had my ticket for the botanical gardens, the fairy gardens, from like 10 to 12. So I left the hotel around 10, and then I got to the botanical gardens around like 10:30. The one thing that I had some trouble with there was trying to figure out where in the fuck to park my car, because there were like a bunch of lots, but they were like spread out like really, spread out like far. And there was a lot that was right next to the fairy gardens, but it was completely full. And then there was like no street parking, and I turned around like 4 different times. I'm like driving past, trying to find a place to park, driving past. Like I ended up finding like a street parking that was like a 10-minute walk from the fairy gardens, which is fine, it's fine. But it was a beautiful day. I hadn't mentioned, it was like perfect spring day. It was completely sunny, 70, gorgeous weather. And I had on this little sundress, and oh my god, it was great. So the fairy gardens, I get there, finally figure out how to park, and I get in. The lady was like so giving me the ticket. She was so nice. She was like, do you want to make a fairy one for $2 today? And I was like, yeah. And then she was like, I'm just gonna give it to you. She's like, people have been on my ass all day, but the prices, da da da. And I was like, oh, you don't deserve that. And so she gave me a free ticket to make a fairy wand, which was adorable. Little spoiler, I did not end up making their fairy wand, because at that point there were like so many kids and families, and I just felt so awkward being like a grown adult being like, yeah, let me know. But it felt silly because I wanted the kids to have all the materials and the fun. I did not make the wand, but it was nice that she offered anyway. When I got into the gardens, it's like 3 big greenhouses kind of all attached, and like different stuff in each one, and there were obviously plants like floor to ceiling. There were like beautiful little fountains. There was this koi pond that I saw at one point. I love koi. They're like my favorite fish ever. And they were so cute and beautiful, and I just wanted to kiss them. And then I started noticing there were like little tiny fairy gardens like built into the plants. Oh my god, these were incredible. Like the level of detail on these, when I am telling you, I was like starstruck by these. They were so cute. I wanted to like shrink myself down and just like live in those little like cottages that people made. I even saw one where someone had made like a little sandwich, and like eggs and bacon. I was blown away. Yeah, I really enjoyed that. There was actually a little spot where someone was selling their art. There was like a local artist, and he made paintings that were like very summery and flowers and very cute like suns, and everything was mostly just kind of like landscapey. And then I saw one and I was like, I can't leave here without that. Look at this. Isn't that adorable? And I don't know the artist's full name, but it's Bryce. I don't know if that's his last name or what, must be his last name. But like the Dunkin' on the beach, are you kidding me? I thought my partner would just love this, and so I had to get it for him. But how cute. And so I bought that. I decided that I didn't want to just like leave after looking at everything, and the grounds were just like so beautiful. There was just like this lush grass everywhere. I was on a little bench, and then at one point I was like, why don't I just get into the grass? It's such a beautiful day, and the grass is just like lush, and I decided to just kind of like sit down on the grass and read my book. And I did get a little bit nervous about bugs crawling on me at one point. But yeah, I read there for maybe like half an hour or something. I decided after a little while that I would kind of pack up, and you know, my stomach was calling me, as it always is. It said, Madam, I'm hungry, please feed me. I need something. I need a little sandwich. And so I got my things, and then I headed home. Nope, did not head home. And then I headed to the next spot. And the next spot was just a little cafe that I found. So I originally planned to go to one cafe, and it was closed on Tuesdays. Oh no. So I went to a different cafe. And this one, it was kind of tricky. It was like one of those little like secret cafes almost. So it's like, it's a record store, but it's also a coffee place. This one was bikes and coffee. The outside just like didn't look like it sold coffee, but then like there were a bunch of people there inside ordering coffee, and it was really good. I had an iced chai, and then they had food as well. So I got a breakfast sandwich, and it was to die for. And then they even had little seats outside and tables. So I decided to sit down and read some more while I ate my sandwich and drank my little drink. And it was just very cute and main character and fun, and the sun was just shining on me. I feel like I got like a little sunburn even. I mean, crazy. After that, my next stop was to go to my facial appointment. And I was so excited for this. I'd never gotten a facial, and you could very easily tell that I had never gotten a facial because I embarrassed myself while I was in there. Like severely. But that's okay. I will tell you what happened when I got to my facial appointment. Before I even got into the building, I was like sitting out in my car because I was a bit early. A woman like saw me sitting in my car, and she like waved at me through my window, and I was like, oh god. And I rolled down my window, and she was like, I have had the worst time. Like, I just asked somebody for the last $5. I need like $10 more to get home. I witnessed a stabbing, and they took me because I was a witness, and they stole my wallet, and they stole my phone, and I'm just visiting someone, and I have no, like, I don't know what I'm, blah, 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 blah. She goes on and on with the story, and I'm like, girl. I was like, I got you. I give her my $10, and she was just like, yeah, just like, oh my god, I'm having the worst time. Like, I don't even know. She was like, oh, they beat me up, and I was like, I don't, all I could do was, I was like, I'm so sorry. Like, I really hope that things get better for you. I'm like, so sorry that you're having this awful time. But I also was just like, what? Hello? Like, what's going on? It wasn't about to be like, oh, did you cry going to the police? Because, like, that doesn't really fucking help anybody. It was just like, I'm so sorry, here's $10. Gotta go bye. Like, went into my appointment. So I was already feeling like awkward. Going to my appointment, it's very calm and soothing in there. I meet my facial lady. Her name is Haley, and I'm like, oh, Haley, thank you so much. This is wonderful. And then she takes me in the room, and it's like a massage bed. If you've ever had a massage, just like a little like twin bed with, you know, like a sheet on it, calm music playing, and then she hands me like this little like smock. It's almost like a towel that's like only shirt length, but it velcros in the back, like kind of like a little like a tube top almost. She's like, okay, so you're just gonna put this on. It just goes like right over the bust, and then I'm gonna step out for a second, and then you get comfortable, and then I'll come back in. And I was like, perfect, okay, I can do that. And so she steps out. I'm looking at this smock, and I'm like, okay, I'm finding this weird, because why would it go here and not like around your whole, because it's meant to protect your clothes, right? That's what I'm thinking. I'm like, oh, it's like, you know, so that the fucking facial juice doesn't get on you. And so I'm like, okay, whatever. She said it goes like this. So I put it, I'm wearing a dress, and I put it like over my dress like that. and then, you know, she tells me to get comfortable. So then I just like, okay, I went on the bed, and I just like, on top of the bed, I was just like, okay. And then she comes back in, and then I was like, hey. And I was like, is this bed warm? This is crazy. It's so warm and nice. And she's like, yeah, actually, she's like, I can turn it off if you want, but also the smock is meant to go like instead of your clothes, like instead of your top. Cause like I can massage your shoulders. And I was like, what? I was like, oh, I was like, that's making so much more sense now. And she's like, it's okay, it happens. And I was like, girl. I was like, I was like, she's like, I'll step back out if you want. And I was like, yes, I will be 30 seconds. And then I like, you know, I took the top of my dress down, put the thing on, and then I was like, okay, wait, the bed is heated, there's a blanket on it. I was like, I need to get under the blanket. I had my shoes on still when she walked in the first time. I had my shoes on, the smock over my clothes, and I'm on top of the blankets, laying like this. What is she probably thinks I'm fucking crazy. She comes back in after I'm under the blankets, shoes are off, top of the dress is off, got the smock on, and I'm like, all right, I'm ready to go now. And you know, she's doing the facial, we're chatting, whatever, and then like I kind of had forgotten, but the last like week or so I've been super jumpy. Like any sounds, anything like startling, like, oh, I get like super jumpy. And there were like 5 separate occasions where she's touching my face, and then she goes to like get more product, and then comes back to my face, and for some reason I'm not anticipating my facialist to touch my face, and so she touches, and I'm just like, and I flinch, and I fucking jump like 5 or 6 different times. It happened, and each time she's like, I'm sorry, and I was like, please don't be sorry. I am sorry. I don't know why I'm like this. She's like, you weren't kidding, you are jumpy. And I was like, yeah, I don't know. I'm sorry. So the facial was amazing. It was awesome. She did like extractions on me because adult acne is just my life now. As we're wrapping up, she's like, well, I hope you have a great day, da-da-da-da. Like, it was so nice to meet you, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, yeah, thank you so much, Ashley. Have a great day. And then I walk out. And then it hits me. Thank you so much, Ashley. Her name is not Ashley. Her name's fucking Haley. Ah! She didn't say anything, and then I like got to my car and I was just like, so that was the end of my trip. That's how we wrapped things up. I am very grateful that that is the only rough thing that happened, because otherwise it was great. It was such a great trip. And even though I embarrassed myself, it was so much fun. I just want to say, if you're like someone who has anxiety or is like recovering from being super anxious, and you want to get yourself out there and kind of like practice your skills being on your own and kind of like interacting with other people in the world, and just practice like trusting yourself and your abilities, this is like such a good way to do that. And especially if you're not going super far from home. This is just like really good practice, and then, you know, if like shit hits the fan, then you just come home, you know, like it's not a big deal. You don't have like a flight to catch or something like that. So I highly recommend, and I do think that I will be going on more solo trips from here on out, because it's just like a really good way to like get in tune with you and just like kind of like ground yourself. Maybe I will be going on a farther trip soon. I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you liked it, then give it a like. Why not? If you want to see more videos like this, then hit subscribe. And thank you all for watching. Bye.